Fresh 102.7.
We are just in awe of you. I think, you know, you're triple threat, quadruple threat, you know, singer, songwriter, actress. You know, do you ever feel like you're neglecting one of your trades because you're getting pulled in one direction more than the other?
No. I don't feel like that at all. I think that there's time to do it all, you know. You just have to plan better, but you can do it all. And I grew up as a kid, as a teenager, doing it all. I was in after school Shakespearean programs. I studied, you know, acting. I studied music. I was in the a cappella choir. I did talent showcases. I mean, it's the arts, you know? And when I go wherever my heart and my soul clock and my intuition tells me I need to be. So when I did Moonlight and I did Hidden Figures, I felt like I could be of some help to help tell that story and to celebrate the marginalized, celebrate Black women, you know, celebrate young queer Black boys whose mothers are on drugs. You know, that was Moonlight. I thought those stories were important, and I wanted to be Teresa, and I wanted to be Mary. And I think it's important to have Dirty Computer out right now.
Yeah.
It was an album I put off for a little bit, but it's just all about timing. And those films actually encouraged me to finish the album and to continue to hone my voice and challenge my voice and step out in new ways. But most importantly, get it out, because if we don't tell our stories, they won't be told.
Right. Up to this point in your career, what do you think is the one thing, maybe it's an album, a movie, an event you put on, that your parents are most proud of you for?
Well, my parents are proud of me. I mean, they used to take me, I'm thinking back, I was just with them a few weeks ago, and you know, them just taking me around to talent showcases. I mean, they worked hard. My mom was like a janitor. My dad was a sanitation worker. My stepdad, who's just like my dad, worked at the post office. So I grew up to hard working class parents. Yeah. Like my grandmother served food in the county jail for 25 years, owned 4 homes, had 12 kids, like superhero, you know. When you come from that, and then I get the opportunities, you know, that I've worked very hard to be available for and take advantage of. They can't help but be proud. Yeah. And they tell me that all the time. They've never discouraged me to do anything other than follow my heart. And I knew at an early age that this is what I was called to do.
It's so cool to me that they were so supportive from day one, because the career path you pursued was so foreign to them. So were they ever nervous about whether it would work?
Yeah. I mean, when I left college, when I left the American Musical and Dramatics Academy here in New York, because I came here fresh out of high school, everybody was praying for me. They were like, yes, you're going to go to performing arts school. You're leaving Kansas. And then when I told them I did not want to continue the program, their feelings were hurt, and they were a little let down. And I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I didn't want to go home because I did not feel like people asking me, what happened? Right. Well, why'd you do this? Well, what's your next move? I didn't want to deal with that. I was like, let me do some stuff privately. Let me get my stuff together, and then I'll go home once, you know, I've had a plan. And so I went to Atlanta. My best friend was going to Clark Atlanta University. Shout out to the AUC, Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, Morris Brown. And I lived in a boarding house with 6 other girls there, and sold my CDs independently, did library step performances where 3 people would attend. But I had 3 fans. Yeah. 3 people wanted to listen to what it is I had to say. And that was all the courage that I needed to continue on. And so I think now they're like, all right, you can do this, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you can make a career out of it. It's not just a hobby. It's something that, you know, you know, I'm a businesswoman. I come in peace, but I mean business.
Yeah. Was this all cleverly thought out, that you worked at the office spot when you were printing out your seat? Were you stealing supplies from there? Or?
No, I am not a thief. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, I may have borrowed a computer at Office Depot to respond back. That's how I got fired. I was responding back to one of my 3 fans who was excited about coming to see me, and I was trying to give them the location of where I was going to perform and what library step to come to, and and I got caught. Like, they had cameras in there, and they were like,
No.
"Ma'am, you cannot be using the company's computer to do your personal work."
Yeah.
And they knew I wanted to be an artist, and it made it easier because I didn't have an excuse. I couldn't say, "Oh, I'm working 1 to 9. I can't be in the studio, or I can't go to this open mic night."
Right.
Like, it freed me up. I was broke, but I had all the time in the world to create.
Yeah. I know in many interviews you've talked about Black Panther and how their filming kind of coincided with the timeline when you were doing Dirty Computer, and they were filming in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You're friends with a lot of the people. Why didn't you audition for the movie, or did you?
No, I didn't audition.
Okay.
They had already, I think they've been planning this film for a while.
Okay.
So I think they may have already, done the casting. I think they did it when I was doing Moonlight and Hidden Figures.
Okay.
I think they were working on it. I would have loved to have been in Black Panther. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of my friends. Like, Lupita is a dear friend to me. Chadwick, Denai, Michael B. Jordan, Daniel. That's family. I'm so proud of them. I would not have wanted it to be any other way than what it is. I'm so proud of them.
Speaking of auditions, word on the street is your friendship with Tessa Thompson started because you guys were auditioning for the same role, or is that not true?
True.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I met her at an audition.
And you guys were up for the same role. I'm surprised
Same
you didn't
role.
end up being enemies.
No, and that's what people
Right?
wanted,
Yeah.
or they want sometimes, for us in our women in the entertainment industry not to be friends. And we were so the opposite, because I saw her in Dear White People.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, her look was so cool. And I think somebody tagged me and they were like, "Oh, Sam from Dear White People has a Janelle Monáe hairstyle." And I was like, let me go look and investigate this. And I was like, man, she is so dope. And so when I saw her, I wanted to tell her that, like, I'm a fan of the film and everything you're doing. And she was like, "I love your music too." And we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, you've included her in a couple of the videos, right?
Yes, she was in Yoga, and she is starring in Dirty Computer. So when she said that she would do the role in Dirty Computer, I was indebted, because Tessa is one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah.
Like, she's so versatile. She does Dear White People, then she goes to Thor, then she's on Westworld.
Great.
And she has Sorry to Bother You coming out this year. Like, she's been killing it. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah. I love with this project how you've kind of, two of your passions, you've brought them together. So do you think moving forward there's going to be more of that, like Cindy Mayweather? I feel like her storyline would work so well for like a Netflix series or a movie or something like that. Would you ever do that?
Hell yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. Yeah, I would so have a TV show or a film around Cindy Mayweather. We built that world with that in mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. Before we wrap up, 2 questions. I wanted to ask you about Prince and just the role he played with this album and kind of what you carry from him with you.
Sure. Well, Prince, I don't know if you know, but he was a friend to me and a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And like the rest of the world, I grew up jamming to Prince's music and being inspired by Purple Rain and, Around the World in a Day and Parade and all of his music. But knowing him off stage was a privilege and an honor that I'm forever grateful for. He was on my last album, The Electric Lady, and he was one of the easiest features to get. I mean, I got to produce him. He, gave full creative control, and I thought it was going to be like a hassle, because he's Prince. You think like, oh gosh, this comes with a lot, but the easiest person to work with, and he was so giving of his time. And one of the things about him is that he was a private giver, meaning he didn't go out and boast who he gave things to or what advice or what songs or what charities he contributed to. He just did it, and he was quiet about it. And we didn't even find out a lot of the giving that he did until he passed on to another frequency. So
Absolutely.
I'm inspired to do more as a result of seeing firsthand this man who did not allow his mystery to get in the way of his mentorship.
Right.
And so I'm gonna take that with me, and I'm gonna try to do all I can to help other artists.
I love it. And last question, and if you don't want to comment on that's fine. I wanted to know how you felt about the separation of artist and art. So if the Cosby Show comes on when I'm watching TV, do I still appreciate it for the TV show it is, or do I have to boycott it?
I think that's a question that all of us have to ask ourselves. I don't think there's, honestly, it's a complicated response. It's a complicated issue to talk about. I think what you're saying is, should we continue to support the art of those who, have been problematic and have done, have had multiple accusations against them, and that have been guilty of them. It varies. I think it's a question that I'm asking myself. Can I still be a lover of the art of someone, of a lover of the art, but still hate the artist?
Right.
Does that make sense? It's a question that we have to ask ourselves. I don't have a good response right now.
It's tough.
It's really tough. And I'm very sensitive to as a human being, not just as a woman. I'm very sensitive to women, because we're not believed a lot when it comes to sexual harassment, rape, and these terrible things that have been done to us.
Yes.
It's a case-by-case situation.
100%.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe, thank you so much. Dirty
Thank you.
Computer, phenomenal, eclectic, different sounds. Your best work to date. I love it.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate that.
Of course.